you want to say plug in Marshawn Lynch, but that Miami defense is actually about 10th in the league against the rush. They're holding down the run pretty good. Marshawn is definitely a safer play because of Adai's injury, but boy, if Adai is for some reason just the feature back in Indy, I have a feeling he's going to have a nice day against Cincinnati. So I'm still not for sure taking Adai out of my lineup. I'm just going to watch that closely and see how that progresses. Adai's definitely a better play if he's in.
That's the whole thing. If you can be sure he's going to play, then play Adai. But boy, you've got to be 100% sure.
Right. He kind of snuck up as a 50-50. I mean, out of nowhere, right?
He was not listed on any injury reports, and then all of a sudden he crept up on it Friday, and it turned into just crept up on it. He ended up questionable, which makes you wonder, boy, whatever it was a little bit more on the serious side.
I read that he practiced fully all week until Friday, so that means something in practice, I guess, Thursday put him down. So we don't know, and the Colts are being kind of tight-lipped about the whole thing, so we don't know exactly.
Well, and maybe even something else. It could have been something dumb at the house, or hopefully he didn't shoot himself in the leg. You just never know. You just never know.
Yeah, hey, that was the guy actually that had the prison league, and like I said, Plexico here, we had another receiver there.
Yeah. Thanks for the phone call. Good luck.
All right, see.
Good luck to everyone this week, too, for playoff time and fantasy league. So thanks to all the phone calls this week. Fantasy Football 101 here on Sports Radio 1450. Make sure you give us a call next week, too, as you go deeper into the playoffs, even more significant and even more peanuts on the line the further you get into your fantasy football playoff leagues. 529-1450 is the phone number. We probably have time to fit in a couple more. Outside of the Plaxico shooting himself, there were some other suspensions this week. Jets defensive end Ellis charged with pot possession. He has been suspended. There was 5 players suspended initially for steroids, but it came out they actually weren't steroids. They were some diuretic, which we've talked about in previous shows too. But Deuce McAllister able to play this week. Is he even worth playing, though?
I don't think so.
He was one of the guys that was initially suspended, along with Will Smith, Charles Grant, and then the 2 D linemen for the Vikings.
Yeah, the Williams boys, and that's actually very significant because Kevin Smith was rising up fast in everyone's projection charts because the 2 defensive linemen, the 2 studs from Minnesota, were going to be out. But now with the whole suspension, move back or whatever's happening, boy, Kevin Smith's going to have a tough day.
Yeah. Right, a judge blocked those. So all those guys that I just mentioned are playing this week.
Yep.
The only guy that was left out of that was some long snapper for the Texans, so who cares about that guy, right? They're just going to lock him up.
I heard an interview with that guy on ESPN First Take, the long snapper from the Texans, because that was like the only guy they could get, right? And he got on, and it sounded like he was going to cry. Like, seriously, straight up. He was like, I just want to set the record straight. I don't do steroids. I was like OJ. I was like, yeah. I was just like, wow, really though? Like, I mean,
he's the long snapper. He's never going to have a job again now, though. That's
I feel for him. I do, but damn, dude,
don't cry. We still got another call over there. Nope. All right. 529-1450
now we
is the phone number. All right, let's take another call real quick, and then we'll run through our studs, duds, and sleepers. Good morning. You're on Fantasy Football 1. Let's make it snappy.
Okay, hey, good morning. Thanks for the Steve Slayton choice you guys helped me make last week.
No problem.
Oh, yeah.
All right, this week I've got these 5 receivers playing 3. Terrell Owens going to play him for sure, so really it's 2 of these 4. Antonio Bryant, Lee Evans, Mark Clayton, Kevin Walter.
I like Mark Walter, or Kevin Walter, I'm sorry, and Lee Evans. Then you need...
And you said Clayton popped up late on the injury report too, right, Mark?
Yeah, he
might not be worth...
It might be...
taking a risk
with him.
Okay.
But yeah, I like Evans and Walter along with
T.O.
Okay.
Okay, it just seems like Buffalo's had a little problem getting the ball to Evans.
Well, Trent Edwards is probably not going to play, and he's been a big source of the problems. He's just been awful this year.
Now,
I know Losman's not necessarily an upgrade from anybody, but
they're going to look to throw the ball this week. They're playing indoors in Toronto. This game's not in Buffalo, just in case you missed that on your schedule. So, yeah, I'd say Losman's going to air it out a little bit this week, I'd have to think.
Losman and Evans have a better history of long passes, and that they just seem to find a little bit better each other.
Thanks for the phone call. 529-1450 is the phone number. Make sure you guys give us a call next week. We're here every Saturday morning from 8 until 9 on Sports Radio 1450 and always streaming live on the webpage at sportsradio1450.com. Let's quickly run through our studs, duds, and sleepers for the week. Mark?
Okay, stud Drew Brees. I really like him this week. He threw the ball 58 times the first time against Atlanta. He'll probably throw at least 40 this time. Dud, the last car's not going to like it, but I got Terrell Owens. Pittsburgh's a beast on defense. And sleeper Sean Hill. If you've got a quarterback situation, Sean Hill's thrown multiple touchdown passes 3 of his last 4 games, and the Jets, ranked 31st in pass defense, have given up almost 1,000 passing yards in their last 3 games.
Nice.
Eric.
Stud, and I said this last time they played, I like Kurt Warner going up against his old team, St. Louis. I don't really need to explain that much. My dud, Tony Romo, with a dinged-up finger against a Pittsburgh defense that really gets after the quarterback. As you saw, they shut down Castle last week. It's not that he couldn't complete passes. He was just under a lot of pressure. And my sleeper, even though he probably doesn't get much sleep, is Matt Jones.
Who is still
nice.
playing.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, here's my studs for the week. What's this all about? My stud for the week is Matt Ryan. I know he's going against Mark's stud, Drew Brees, but I think both those guys are going to have good games. They're just going to air it out all day long. Also, my dud is Mark Bolger.
You pick him every week.
Oh.
It's a great every
It's the easiest thing to
Always
do.
right.
Well, at least I do something right every week, though. And my sleeper this week, I did have Aaron Rodgers penciled in, but as we kept talking, I think I'm going to go Steven Jackson, more of a sleeper. Jackson had over 90 yards rushing last week. He is back. They said he's real healthy. And like I said early in the show, too, playing out in Arizona, that thigh's got to be loosened up. Whether or not he was gassed, quote-unquote, at the end of last week's game as Haslett put him on the bench or not, I think he's going to have a big week until the Rams have to throw the ball, which they probably will because Arizona's going to light him up. Then you're going to shy away from Jackson, and that's when Bolger's going to get killed, and they're going to have to bring in someone else. What was it, Brock Berlin? Is that who?
I don't even know.
I hope to God it's Brock Berlin.
Is that their third string?
That's like the best name in football history. And
didn't he go to Miami?
I mean, it's
like Colt McCoy.
Well, it's as good as Ken Dorsey, who's going for the Browns, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Colt McCoy would be a better start this week
I agree.
in your fantasy league, but
Totally agree.
he's still in college. So.
I'm just saying that's one of my favorite football names.
Oh, it's a great football name, and
makes
it's a perfect football name for a Texas quarterback.
That's what I think.
I mean, perfect.
Oh, yeah. That fits right in.
He might win the Heisman, too. We'll see. 529-1450 is the phone number. This is Fantasy Football 101 on Sports Radio 1450. It is playoff time. Mark, you're in like 5 leagues. How many playoff teams?
3.
3 out of 5?
Yep.
Eric?
2 for 2.
2 for 2. Nice. 0 for 2 right here. I think hosting the Fantasy Football Show for the first time jinxed me big time. This is my 5th year playing fantasy football, and for the first time I'm not in the playoffs.
Ugh.
Playing spoiler.
It's highly unlike you. I've been in leagues with you before, and you're usually right there. So I think it's taken over for Bonzi because Bonzi sucked too.
Maybe it's just hosting the show. That's what I'm saying. I got jinxed.
Yep.
And your T.O. as a dud? No. T.O.'s going to have a big day on his B-Day. Big day on his B-Day.
You'd say something.
He's going to have someone waiting in the end zone with some candles or something and a cupcake. You know he's got something planned in Pittsburgh.
Just an update. Brock Berlin is the third-string quarterback.
Nice. How does your league work, Nicorelli, based on points?
We actually
we
don't have playoffs.
When is your season in then?
It ends week 17.
The last regular season.
Yeah, and whoever's got the most points at that point is walks
so
away.
You got to get in a different league next year. For sure.
Yeah. Well, we've decided that we're going to do a keeper league with the one that we're in now, but I need to get in a head-to-head league. I don't like the way that the points are just kind of set up.
We'll get you in one of our leagues too.
I'm
sure we got room. You and Stack, we'll get you guys in there. We'll show you guys how to play some real fantasy football.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do you have a shot, Nicorelli? Are you close to the points?
Yeah. I mean, it's like 1 through 6 are pretty close. And then once you get past 6, it's pretty off. I'm in 6 right now, and that's the reason why I say 1 through 6. But I mean, really,
he's putting himself up there.
Yeah, I mean, only like 50 points from 3rd, and then like 100 from 1st.
Well, thanks for everyone tuning in this week. We appreciate it. You're not going anywhere, Nick. You're not winning that league. I mean, that's why I'm moving on. Wrapping things up. 529-1450 is the phone number.